Welcome back. It's time for another great week of Bible class, and I'm so excited. We're going to talk about one of the most important prophets in the Old Testament. Can you guess who it is? I'm going to give you a hint. He never died. Chariots came and took him up to heaven. So who do you think it might be? If you guessed Elijah, you're right. If not, that's okay because we haven't learned about Elijah yet. And that's perfectly okay because we're going to learn about him now. But before Elijah comes on the scene, we have King Ahab. And King Ahab is the king of Israel. And now Israel has fallen away from God. And Israel's first ruler was Jeroboam. And Jeroboam did some really bad, heinous, evil things. And now what it says about Ahab is he's even worse than everybody before him. Now this is after Saul, David, and Solomon ruled all of Israel. And so now there's the kingdom of Judah and there's the kingdom of Israel. And this is Israel right here. Now, he is very evil. He has set up altars and worships Baal. And he doesn't worship God. He doesn't worship Yahweh, the one true God. He worships Baal. And now Elijah, a prophet of God, does not like this one bit. And so he goes before the king and he says, because you worship Baal, there's going to be no rain, there's going to be no dew, there is going to be nothing wet on the earth until I say so. This is a big deal because the king is in charge of rain. And the way these old cultures worked, the king was in charge of having good crops. The king was in charge of the rain. The king was always in charge. Do you think Ahab liked this? He did not. And so Elijah leaves, and God sends him away. And he is out in what we would call the Wadi. And it's a stream. It's off to the side of a major river. And God feeds Elijah bread with ravens. And it takes a long time for this little stream to dry up. Now this is really, really important. Why is this important? Because everything else was drying up all around Israel. But God was still giving Elijah out of this little bitty stream bread and water. God was providing when Baal could not. God was providing when no one else could provide. Only God could provide. And God is painting this picture that says, no matter what, if you are the only one that worships me, if you are the only one that loves me, I will provide for you. If it's one on all, I will be there for you. I love Isaiah 41:13. It says, for I, the Lord God, hold your right hand. Do not fear. I will help you. And that's what he's doing right here with Elijah. Is when Elijah needs it most, God is holding his hand. God is feeding him. Ravens are flying in every day to give him bread. And he has got water from the stream until that will eventually dry up. But that's because God has another mission for Elijah. We're going to find out. So, obviously this was all kind of made up. I didn't cut these out or anything. But we're going to go right over to the kitchen. And we're going to figure out what we're going to do today and make today to show us and to remind us of how Elijah was fed by the ravens. It is kitchen time. And today, for today's project, you're going to need some birdseed. And I just got the cheap stuff at Walmart. And so you don't need anything too fancy there. You also need some peanut butter. And we actually have some expired peanut butter. So that's what I'm going to use, because I'm not going to eat this. You need a bagel. And this is what we worked on all day yesterday. So we made bagels. Now these are so good too. They're homemade bagels. They're part of, we teach math and science and history and everything else through cooking at our house. Yeah. Those are great bagels. Oh man. Especially when you're on keto and you're not supposed to eat that. That's good stuff. Finally, you need something to hang your bagel with because it's going to hang outside. And so I got some fishing line here. And you can use string, you can use twine, you can use whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. So the first thing you need to do is you need to tie this here fishing line or string, whatever you might have, to the bagel. And that way it will hang well. And so if he were around, this is where I would call my Boy Scout friend in, Malachi, to be able to tie a really great knot for me. But instead it's just me and, well, youth ministry knots, right? All for naught. We'll get it done. That's not the greatest knot, but I think it'll work. I don't know if I can do any more knot jokes. I better not. You think it'll hold? It might not. That bagel is yummy. Alright, so look at that. You think it's gonna fall? I think not. Uh-oh. So you might not want to use fishing line because it's cutting through, but that's okay. Next is you need to get open your bird seed. And you need a paper plate as well. I recommend paper plate. You don't want to wash up anything you don't have to. And you need to pour that down. There you go. So, there is that. You need to spread that out. So, the next step is you need to slather on some peanut butter to your bagel. Now, I don't know if you really need a bagel for this or not. I'm sure you could use a piece of bread. You could use a donut, I guess. Ellis on PBS this week. It doesn't really matter. It just needs to be something that will hold the bird seed. Some people even say bread isn't anything we should be feeding birds in the first place. So that's why this is only there to hold it. You know, we put out a bird feeder yesterday, and we put 2 of them, and a squirrel started eating it. And the squirrels, the way they were hung, the squirrels had to hang upside down just to eat it. It was silly. We were all laughing. And I guess squirrels need to eat too, so that's okay. So you take your peanut butter covered bagel and you slap it in there. You turn it around, and look at that. It's all sticking. Now, because I'm just a generous guy and I love animals, we're going to slather it on both sides. You want to keep your string a little out of it. That way that didn't get all peanut buttery. And making bagels is a chore. Man, it was a long, we spent 2 or 3 hours making bagels yesterday. So, like I said, it's probably better to just buy the bagels at the store. If you can find like day-old ones or something like that, get them cheap. It doesn't matter because these are just going to hang up outside and let the animals eat. And so just like the ravens fed Elijah, you will be feeding the raven. So we're kind of role reversal there is what you would call that. And so we take it there, and there's very good. I think we're going to add a little bit more peanut butter here on the side, like so. Looky there, you got a good, nice, healthy snack for all those birds that come by. There you go. That's all she wrote. You guys have a great day. Remember, obey your parents, and maybe you can feed some birds too. Have a good one. Bye-bye.